Hey everybody. So this is a Canvas tutorial video to show you exactly how to navigate through one of my classes in Canvas. I'm Professor Jonathan Lamanna. Depending on the class you're taking, the homepage on your Canvas screen is going to have the course name and your section number, which you're going to need to submit your PDF files. Everything that you need to access is actually in here in this modules section. So before we get there, there's an announcement section. So if you click on that, you're going to have announcements at least twice a week posted for you. So make sure that you have notifications set up so that you are aware of what's going on as things change throughout the semester. I have tips, reminders in there, so that's going to be important. Once you click on modules here on the left-hand side, you're going to get a screen that looks like this. So at first, it's all going to be expanded. You can click a button to collapse everything. But what you should notice immediately is every single section says complete all items. That means you have to actually click through every single one of these screens before you can move on to the next. So you will have to access the syllabus. You'll have to watch this video. You're going to get a weekly schedule. It's going to teach you how to register for your textbook. It's going to show you how to use Honorlock, which is a requirement for this course. Once you get into the content, you're going to have to look at an overview, which is actually going to have tutorial videos that I've created for this class to make you successful in mathematics. Then there's the lab component, so everything has to be completed to move on. Once you scroll down to the bottom of each page, there's a next button. I even have in the very first part, how to use Canvas if you need help with that. So those are the modules. That's how we access everything in this course. Every week is pretty much organized the same. You have an overview. Like I said, each overview is going to have tutorial videos that I have created for you based on the content for that week. I would strongly suggest watching it because that shows you the content and the concepts that you need in order to be successful. It goes over a little bit about what you need to do that week, the content, and then your actual tasks. The other things that week, there will always be a lab component that you'll have to complete. And then there'll be my math lab homeworks. As you get further into the semester, there are going to be study guides. There's going to be tests. There's going to be a place for you to submit your work for the test. And this is one of the things that most students mess up with. If you have to access your class through a laptop or a desktop computer, you cannot do this on the phone. You have to click this link in order to access all of your tests, all of your Honorlock activities. Otherwise, you will have an issue. So that's pretty much everything you need is in here. When you click on one of these assignments, so as you can see, there are videos and then there's actual math content. When you click on the assignment, it will actually open up within the course right here live for you to do. So you never actually need to leave Canvas. On the side here, if you don't want to access it that way, you can click on Access Pearson. Access Pearson will bring you to this page. You click Open Pearson, and then it brings you to this page. You open My Lab and Mastering, and now you're in the actual Pearson course. In this Pearson course is where you are able to see your grades for your My Math Lab things. So your student gradebook is going to be helpful for you to look back at previous assignments and see what you got wrong, especially for tests. So that's Pearson. Those are my math lab assignments. Honorlock, if you click on the Honorlock section, this shows you the assignments that you're going to be doing for all of your tests in my course. You are allowed to use notes. You are allowed to use a calculator. So that does not mean a cell phone, an actual calculator and real notes you are allowed to use for your test. So make sure that you are prepared and you know what you got to do. The last thing in one of these first modules, actually it's the very first one, the important course information. There's a ton of info. You have your syllabus, your walkthrough. This weekly schedule is going to be helpful. So when you click on the weekly schedule, you're going to see week by week what you should be covering. So if this is an RTV class and we're meeting every week on Zoom, you'll be able to follow along and see what we're doing. If this is completely online, this is what's due each week as we go on. For all of my classes, there's a second page of this schedule. And that second page is for RTV courses specifically. If you're in an RTV course, we do a flipped classroom, which means you complete these questions and then you come to class and then we focus on the things that you need the most. These questions that I have listed here are also the questions on the tutorial videos that are posted in every week's module. So hopefully all of this helps. The only quick thing I want to go over is if you're taking 1033C, which is just the other course, the modules can look a little different. So there's a little overlap. So you can see this says weeks 1 through 3, and this says weeks 3 through 6. So there is some overlap in terms of due dates and things like that. On your homepage, there is always a to-do list that will show you what's due and what's coming up. You can click on view calendar and it will actually show you a calendar of all the assignments that you need. So hopefully this helps and you're able to start strong. I will work with you as long as you guys do your part. I will do everything in my power to make sure that you have a successful semester. That's it. Good luck, everybody.